疫情过去3年，俄乌战争爆发2年多了，整个世界就像翻篇一般，通货膨胀像脱了弦的箭一样往上猛冲，利率停不下来的往上猛涨。现在的贷款利率是疫情期间的3倍以上，老百姓的生活质量直线下降，苦不堪言。生活在连续7年被评为世界最宜居城市的墨尔本，自己却突然觉得好像走进了另一个完全陌生的地方。政府部门满脸奸笑，磨刀霍霍杀向投资者，经济萎靡，房地产业一片凋零，哪里才能看到曙光？当全球大多数西方发达国家陷入通货膨胀、经济低迷时期，放眼欧洲地中海地区，10几年前曾经破产的希腊却迎来蓬勃发展的上升趋势。据当地以及欧洲有关媒体报道，中方资金与犹太基金、阿拉伯资本已经成为投资希腊的3大主流。中国驻希腊大使肖军正日前于商业日报的访谈中谈到，由于当年希腊金融危机最困难时期，中国中远集团伸出援助之手，收购 67% 的港口股份，以 Piraeus 港共建一带一路的旗舰项目，成为两国优势互补、强强联手、互利共赢的成功典范。中远集团控股以来， Piraeus 港经营业绩连创佳绩，成为地中海领先集装箱大港，欧洲第3大邮轮母港，欧洲第1大渡轮港口。这个项目的成功为中国资金投入欧洲做了很好的典范。一直以来，中国投资者对在希腊投资抱有浓厚的兴趣，中资企业在港口开发、商业旅游、新能源发展都有投资。除了中远集团，国家电网持有希腊国家电网的 24% 股份，国家能源拥有希腊色雷斯风电项目4座风电场 75% 的股权。如今与同时投入的犹太基金、阿拉伯资本竞相追逐目前发展的如火如荼的希腊房地产行业，其中包括住宅地产、商业地产和火得发烫的旅游地产，大有赶超当年中国深圳高速发展的经济势头，为面临西方围堵的华商出口发展寻找一个良好的投资机遇。最新报道，来自广东的投资商在比港距离比港大学700米左右购置了一栋面积为3万平方米的商业建筑，资方决定将此建筑改造成600套学生公寓，卖给来自中国的投资移民，以满足他们申请希腊黄金签证的要求。同时全方位打造此物业，在绝佳的外观设计基础之上，对内部广场以及装饰加以改造，同时增加大量的商业项目，使这栋建筑在整个皮尔斯港地区变成凤毛麟角的地标建筑。这也将成为中方投入希腊经济振兴项目的又一个典型。今天我们有幸请来多年合作的墨尔本希腊籍房产建筑商托马斯先生谈一谈希腊房地产的开发机遇。托马斯先生的家族建筑公司在澳洲房地产业已经有20多年的历史，承建了包括许多华人房主在内的许多大型豪宅，并往返于希腊与澳洲之间，与希腊地产开发商、建筑商有深度的合作关系，因此有机会得到当地的一手信息和许多得天独厚的开发项目。
Thank you very much to coming here. So pleasure to talk with you. I know you are the second generation of Greek, and from there to your parents' generation to current successful the construction company leaders. Would you introduce yourself and your company?
No worries. Thanks for having me, Cynthia. I'm first generation Australian. My parents migrated here from Greece in the early 70s, and we have been involved in construction here the family has for the last 25 years, and I joined the family business 15 years ago, and we have a very strong hold of Chinese clients here in Australia. Building and constructing luxury developments for them in the inner east around Toorak, Hawthorn, Kew and Baldwin.
Oh, that's very interesting. You have so many Chinese customers?
Yeah, well, 95% of our client base is China, mainly from Shanghai, Beijing, Dalian, Shenzhen, Xiamen. We have clients from all over China.
Oh, that's great. So you're definitely familiar with the Chinese people.
Yes, we've
well.
been dealing with the Chinese market for the last 14 years, which has been, a very good experience. We've also been invited to China and visited on multiple times. And I've taken many Chinese clients to Greece as well.
Oh, that's great.
Which is very good.
Looks very interesting. And you also travel from Greece to Australia?
Yes, we do. We travel from Greece to Australia. We do a lot of business with a very large company in Greece with the European standard windows. And now within the construction industry in Greece, who has a very strong property market at the moment.
Oh, that's great. You look very familiar with construction area both in Australia, also in Greece.
Yes, correct. So what we see is we see what's happening in Greece at the moment is kind of like looking back 14 years ago of what was happening in Australia, where, a lot of Chinese investors came in. There was the 888 visa policy, the foreign investment policy, where a lot of Chinese clients were investing to receive permanent residency and buying up premium properties in the Inner East. It's gotten to a point now where it's totally plateaued, and high taxes, high holding costs in Australia make it a lot more difficult for the investor to make money.
Yeah,
these days. That's what we've seen within the industry. We still have a lot of work in the sense of owner occupiers, but as in investments have really decreased. We don't have developers coming to our company to construct for them. What happened in the past in Australia is kind of happening, in Greece at the moment. As the world knows, Greece went through a very large financial crisis for 10 years.
Yeah.
And they were literally at the bottom of Europe. What they've seen is, and especially after COVID, there's been a very strong post-COVID recovery in Greece. The Prime Minister of Greece is extremely pro-business, so he's done a lot to implement a lot of changes in Greece. So the current Dinos Mitsotakis is the current Greek PM. He stated in the Times magazine in an interview that he had, and for a lot of Greek people, they understand this, that his vision is that Greece will become the comeback nation of the decade. After the financial crisis, they were at an all-time low. So now Greece is on an incline in the financial sectors of, increasing. So it's actually a really good time to invest in Greece. The property market is strong. There's a very big interest in the property market from not only Europeans, Israelis, Qataris. Indians are very big investors in the property market, and also the Chinese market. And I think the biggest attraction for that at the moment is the Golden Visa program. And there's a lot of different...
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that, and also I think it's a good time, good opportunity for the Chinese investors to go into the Greek market
definitely,
as well.
Cynthia, definitely, because despite the strong growth in Greece at the moment, house prices still remain relatively low. And they're relatively lower than most European countries. So it's attracting many foreign investors into Greece. This acts like a magnet because of the low cost. A lot of foreign investors are coming in and wishing to view of property in Greece at the moment, being lower than most European cities in the European Union, is that it's attracting a lot of foreign investors. And these foreign investors are, wishing to relocate, especially Americans and Britons, solely because it's a very popular tourist destination. Greece is known for 300 days a year of sunshine, and the lifestyle in Greece is great. So a lot of people are attracted by that. At the same time, investors from China, from India, and even the Arab nations and Israel are looking at purchasing properties for the Golden Visa program, which secures them based on holding the investment permanent residency, not only to Greece, but within the whole Schengen zone. Oh. So it's definitely a very lucrative and low investment entry into Greece. So we've looked at this and, the appeal of, possibly, expanding our businesses into Greece.
Okay, that's very good, very interesting. Also, the good time for the Chinese investor to enter in the Greece market as well.
Oh, 100%. And the Chinese investors at the moment are extremely popular and growing all the time. The biggest growth of investors were the Israelis and the Indians. But this year, especially after September, when the new policy came through, for commercial to residential,
only 215
so what that entails is a commercial building that can be redesigned and re-established as the existing footprint into a commercial space. The commercials, being configured into a residential space. Each property, each studio at 250,000 minimum, they can use it as a Golden Visa application, which is an increasingly low investment to get a permanent residency into the European Union.
Yeah, I think it's the best. It's the lowest the cost to get the visa.
Yes, it's the lowest cost visa in all of Europe.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, and following a very strong post-pandemic recovery in 2023. The real estate GDP growth was still high at above 2%. It remains well above Greece's long-term potential and the Euro average. So the property market is, because it was at such a low, it's just going up, and we're very grateful in the fact that we can travel to Greece, we speak the language, we have business dealings with different materials and stuff like that we export into Australia for our current businesses here. It's definitely a very good place to visit, and even going over there for business meetings, it's a lot more laid back. We really enjoy it.
Yeah, that's great. I also heard a lot of people from, not just the Greek people, it's also a lot of people, they choose the Greece as their retirement plans.
Correct. Especially a lot of Britons, so a lot of British people, they will relocate to different islands in Greece, solely because of the weather and the lifestyle. A lot of Americans do when they retire. They return back to their family roots. And even now, first generation Australians or first generation Americans to Greek parents are returning and investing and possibly, looking at retirement in Greece. It's definitely a place where we can see ourselves in the future, spending a lot more amounts of time there, just solely for the lifestyle.
Yeah, I think it's a good life when have the retirement, the good retirement.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I see in Athens, there's a big street full of Chinese restaurants at the moment. So there's a Chinatown there where you actually see quite a large Chinese population.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hope next time when I visit Greece, I can try to Chinese food there.
Yes.
I hope more and more Chinese visitors, Chinese immigrants well settled down in Greece.
Yes, no, definitely. Like
Yeah.
when we've traveled there with Chinese clients in the past, we've encouraged them to try the Greek cuisine, and they've absolutely loved it because they've loved the seafood, they've loved, you know, the different meats. They've also loved the vegetarian side of it. So it has everything to cater for everyone.
Yeah, that's great news.
Yeah.
And have a wonderful talk with you. And I heard a lot of good news from the Grace. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you for having me, Cynthia. Thank you.
Thanks.